Hello, and thank you for coming to look at the GCSE Food Preparation and Nutrition GCSE. I'm going to talk you through a PowerPoint which hopefully will explain all about the course. So we have one lesson a week which deals with practical skills, and there are a whole range of skills that we look at in this course. So we look at different bread doughs and pastas and pastries. We might look at different sauces. We teach different equipment that people might not have used before, certainly in year 7 and 8. We look at knife skills, how to cook different methods, so steaming and blanching and frying. So a whole range of different practical skills, which generally come from recipes which I will hand out ingredient sheets for, but there are sometimes opportunities for students to choose their own recipes to meet a certain criteria. Here you can see some of the pictures of some dishes that students have made over the last few years. These are all sweet dishes. So we've got quite a few pastry dishes there. Certainly a lot of focus on decorative technique, making sure things are well presented, and piping and chocolate decoration and lattice work, and also a lot of use of fruit and vegetables to try and keep things as healthy as possible. And then savoury dishes, again, pastries. We've got different bread doughs, naan breads and wraps and burger buns, and obviously the use of meat and fish. But we also cater for vegetarian chefs. If someone is a vegetarian or has a food allergy or is a vegan, then we are flexible and can change the recipes around to allow for that to happen. We have one theory lesson a week where we learn the 5 different strands of this GCSE. So we learn about different nutrition and why nutrients are important, and specifically for different ages and stages of life. We learn about food science, so why does bread rise, why do cakes go brown, and the science behind cooking. We make sure we can learn how to cook safely, so we don't give people food poisoning. We look at food choices, so why do people become vegetarian? How might religion affect the foods that you eat? And if you have an allergy, how does that affect your choices of food? And then the last topic we do is food provenance, which is a fairly new introduction to the GCSE. So looking at where food comes from and how it's made, and what does organic mean, and the word food miles, how far away has our food travelled from, and how do we maintain a sustainable food system in this country, and how much food do we have to bring into the country in order to make sure we have enough. So lots of environmental issues and a lot of stuff which is in the news a lot at the moment. All the written content is tested by an exam at the end of year 11, which takes up 50% of the GCSE, and it's tested through a variety of different questions within that timescale. Some multiple choice, some longer answer questions. And then in year 11, we do the other 50% of the GCSE, where we do 2 controlled assessments, now known as non-exam assessments. The first one is a smaller assessment based on food science again. So the example on the screen looked at different types of flour and how gluten helps make bread rise different amounts, so different types of flour and the role of the gluten. And then the other assessment that we do is in year 11 as well, and that's worth 35% of the GCSE, and that's more of a practical based task. So you might choose from a bank of different topics. This one here was suitable for young children. And so you would do some research into what young children need or like to eat, plan some dishes, make them in a practical exam, and then evaluate them at the end. And so there is an awful lot of student involvement about the types of dishes that they would make, and obviously lots of planning and hoping to make dishes that they would enjoy to eat themselves. I've asked a few of my current students what they particularly like about studying this GCSE. Overall, I think the thing that comes through is that they enjoy certainly the practical. They like to know not only about how to make things, but where their food is coming from. So including that theory element, so understanding a little bit more about where food comes from. And obviously they like the practical side. It makes a nice change from your typical theory lessons, and also their choices to be able to adapt recipes to make things that they enjoy as well. If you've got any more questions, because that was very quick, but if you've got any questions that you would like, feel free to send me an email. My email address is on the screen, and I will be more than happy to try and answer any of your questions. Okay, thank you very much.